Hello, everyone. My name is Marley McCampbell. I'm the transfer specialist, and I also do admissions for undergrad and graduate.
And my name is Leah Lewert-Taylor, and I am the Immigration Advisor as well as the Assistant Director for Student Services.
We're going to talk today about the life cycle of the admission process, from admission to registration. So basically from the beginning until you get here for registration. And I'm going to talk about the admission part, and then Leah's going to talk about the immigration and registration part. Okay, so here are some things to consider. So I know just looking at the names of people who are here today, some people have already applied, some people have been admitted, and some names I don't recognize. So here's some things to consider. You want to look at our website and make sure that our university is a good fit for you. So the number one thing is, does A-State have my major that I'm interested in? You can find that on our website by searching for degrees that are available, and then you can see all the different degrees and all the different levels. And if you're not sure, you can always email us and we'll give you the email's there, International and A-State. You can always email us and ask us, for more information. Does A-State's cost of attendance meet my budget? Does A-State have the student life I want? Will I be comfortable in a mid-sized university? So A-State has about 15,000 students, so we're considered mid-sized. And will the climate of Arkansas be a good fit for me? Okay, so once you've decided you want to apply, of course, then you're gonna go to our website, and it's a little hard to see in this picture, but way at the bottom, you'll see this black bar and it'll say apply now. And also, there's a little star by it. Also, there's a lot of links over it where you can find all of the information. For example, the English proficiency scores. What English proficiency scores do I need? You'll be able to find them at these links. So after you click apply now, you're going to set up an account, and then you're going to fill out the international application. So you want to make sure it says international application and not undergraduate or graduate or 100% online. You only want to do the international application, as the other types are for US citizens. If you fill out one of those, then you're just going to have to go back and fill out an international application. So once you've filled out the international application, you submit it and you pay the $50 application fee. And underneath the application, you'll be able to find a PDF with a step-by-step guide. So if you're not sure of anything, you can just check the PDF. And of course, also, if you're not sure or you have an issue, you can email us and we'll help you. Okay, and so after you've submitted and paid the application, then comes the document submission. So this is the part where sometimes students have, often students have questions or they think they're having an issue, but we'll try to give you some info here. So on your application, you'll get a checklist that tells you what you need to upload. And if you have just submitted your application, you need to give it about 30 minutes in order for it to process. Otherwise, it'll kind of look like you don't need anything, right? But you just have to give it a minute to process. And so it'll give you a checklist that'll look a little bit like this, where there's it'll have a black X or a red X, and it'll say awaiting, and it'll tell you what you need. So you're gonna upload the documents to this page. So please don't email the documents unless you're having an issue, because if you email it, it's gonna take longer. So pay attention to the note. There's a note here which says that the documents, when you upload them, they will not be marked as received. This is because we have to review the documents, and this takes about 1 to 2 days, 1 to 2 business days after you've uploaded them. And then if you upload it and we look at it and there's an issue, then we'll email you and let you know that. Okay, so once your file has become complete, so that means after you have submitted and paid the application and you've uploaded your documents, if we have all the documents that we need, then your file will be marked complete. So once your file is complete, then these are the turnaround times that we work with. So if you're an undergraduate, which means you're a freshman or transfer, it's about a week for a decision. If you're ESL and then undergraduate, it's also about a week. If you're a graduate student, so just graduate or ESL plus graduate, that can take 3 to 5 weeks or maybe longer. That completely depends on the department. So some departments are quick because you submit your application, they review it, and then they make a decision. And some departments take longer because they wait until they have all of their applicants and then make a decision for all of them. So it really depends on the department if you're a graduate student. If you're an exchange student, it takes about a week. So once you have your file is complete, then you'll get an email. And then once you have a decision, a yes or no on your file, then you'll get another email. And again, if we need anything else, we will email you. So don't worry. If you're waiting on a decision and you say, oh, do they need something else? We'll send you an email. Don't worry. Okay, so now Ms. Leah will give you some more information.
Absolutely. So once you have received your decision and you have gotten admitted to Arkansas State, you will get an email, and it's your electronic acceptance letter. We are not issuing paper acceptance letters anymore. So when you get that long-awaited, congratulations, you're admitted to A State, that is your actual acceptance letter. So once you have received that, I will also get notification that you are admitted, and you will show up on my list. At that time, I'm going to create your Form I-20 if you are an F1 degree seeker, or if you're an exchange student, you will have a DS 2019 created. So after your admission decision and you receive that email, on average, your I-20 will be ready about 2 days after admission. And you will have to be admitted before you can get that form, because this is your immigration form telling the government we're accepting you into our university. And inside that acceptance letter, you're going to have steps on how you can have it sent to you. So make sure, just like through the whole process, you're reading your emails, you're following all the instructions, because also in that acceptance letter, it's going to give you steps on how to receive your official I-20 if you're wanting it just scanned to you by email, if you're wanting your official copy that we can mail to you or ship to you for a cost. All that information is going to be in those emails. So, you're going to get an email from me, you're going to have that immigration form. What do you do with that I-20? So the next step you're going to need to do is pay for your CVIS. So in order to make it register or exist in their system, you have to pay what's called the I-901 fee. You do that by visiting their website, fmjfee.com, and using that CVIS number on top of your I-20, you're going to pay the $350 fee. After you've paid it, you have the receipt, you need to have a copy of it, because next you're going to want to fill out a DS-160 to book your appointment at your local embassy or consulate. So once you've filled out their form and you have that receipt, you have your I-20, you have that acceptance letter, you have your passport, and any other documents, your financial ones, ready to go, you're going to attend the visa interview that you get booked. So there's just some tips that we wanted to remind you regarding a visa interview. You want to make sure you're on time. You do not want to be late to your consular interview. You don't want to be late to that, to arriving here, any of that. You want to make sure you're on time so you can do everything in a timely manner. When you're at your interview, remember, this is just a quick time to be able to kind of sell yourself. The person will not know who you are, so you have to be able to explain, why did you choose Arkansas State University, and why did you choose the major that you're going into? We cannot answer this question for you. This is your personal time to be able to tell them, well, the reason I chose computer science is, I'm interested in programming. We can't tell you why you chose it. You let us know. We also really recommend that you know about Arkansas State University and the town of Jonesboro, Arkansas, and make sure that you have all your documents with you, including your proof of funding. So you're going to have to show it at the time of admission, so that way we can, tell to the government, yes, the student has the funds needed in order to, be here studying at the university. So make sure you take proof of your funding. Also, you're going to want to show really strong connections to your home country and how you're going to use your degree when you return back home after you graduated. We also, on our website, if you go to astate.edu, there's a handy search bar in the top right. That's my best friend. If you type in visa tips, we have a list of visa tips that we collected from a former visa officer who kind of let us know the kind of questions and kind of things to do. So hopefully you'll pass the interview. If so, you'll be given your passport back with your stamped visa in it within a few days. So depending on your country, depends how long it might take for you to get that back. So that's why once you are accepted, please, in a timely manner, work on getting your visa interview booked. Once you have the visa, make sure you're working in a timely manner to plan your pre-arrival, which we're about to talk about. Pre-arrival. So this information is also on our website, and also during your admission process. Once you've been admitted, you're going to start getting information about pre-arrival for the term you're admitted for. So once you've gotten that visa, you're going to want to do the following items. You are going to be getting emails, depending on when you're coming, to fill out our pre-arrival attendance form. When you fill this out, it's going to let us know that we know you're coming, so we can make accommodations for you. We can expect you here. It's going to give you an opportunity to upload your passport, your visa, any MMR records or health documents, so that way your check-in process is going to go a lot faster if we already have those. You want to go ahead and book your accommodations in Jonesboro. So if you're a first-year freshman, you are required to live on campus. That is an A-state policy, not an international programs policy. So please don't ask, do I have to live on campus? Again, we cannot tell you where to live, but we can tell you first-year freshmen are required to live on campus. So you want to go ahead and figure out where you're going to be staying. Also, if you're going to be booking your flight, Memphis, Tennessee is our closest big city, and that is also where we recommend you to book your flight. It is the Memphis International Airport. If you're going to be arriving the Saturday or Sunday before your orientation date, please go ahead and fill out the airport shuttle pickup form for the Memphis Airport. It is on our website. If you type in transportation, you're going to see a list of the dates that we are offering our shuttle pickup. You can sign up. It will only be coming from the Memphis Airport, though. We will bring you to a hotel in Jonesboro. So if you're going to be staying in a hotel during that weekend, you need to make sure you have a room reserved and it has been paid for. If you do not plan on staying in that hotel, the shuttle will only drop you off at a hotel. Then you can call your cousin, uncle, friend, whoever is already here to come and pick you up from that hotel if you need to. But we will only be dropping off at hotels prior to orientation. And the next thing we want to tell you is, you need to start packing. So also on our website and our pre-arrival information, we have a list of items that we recommend for you to pack. Earlier in the presentation, we mentioned that we want you to make sure that you've researched the climate of Arkansas. So the cool thing about Arkansas is you will experience all types of weather. So, it's not just one climate here. We have a rainy time in the spring. It gets pretty warm in the summer. We have a beautiful fall when the trees will change color and you can wear your sweater and you can wear your boots. And then we have winter where it gets cold. We just got done having a snowstorm. It was really pretty, and then it went away, and now it's pretty warm outside. So you just never know. So you want to make sure you have a nice coat, you have a jacket, you've got sandals, have a little bit of everything. So just make sure you check out our packing tips so you know what to bring with you. For any international student, you are required by law to have an orientation session. Because of that, you get a whole week before classes start to get used to the university, and also to kind of get checked in and time for you to clear your hold so you can register. So the week before school is starting is a mandatory orientation week, which means you must attend it. During this week, as you can see from the second point, you're going to learn more about the university. You're going to go through a health screening. Everybody has to go through that. You're going to meet with advisors if you are a transfer student, or you're going to take a placement exam if you are a freshman. It's time that you kind of get, before classes are started and everyone's here, you get to kind of walk around the university, check it out, find out where the cafeteria is, find out where the library is, where our gym is. We have different events and programming going on that week, so you can meet new friends and, really get to know everybody that works here. So you'll get to see Miss Marley, you'll get to see me, you get to see the others that work with us. And the goal is by the end of this week to register for courses. However, the only way you can get to registration is if you follow all the mandatory orientation items that you're instructed to do. This means that no, we cannot allow students to register before you arrive to campus, because most of the items have to be done once you are here. So we don't want you to be surprised when you come here and then you have to first have an orientation hold where you have to have that removed before you can register. You'll have a health hold, you'll have documents. There's just a lot that goes into it. So that's why you want to make sure you're here for orientation week. So that way you're able to get registered in the courses that you're needing to in a timely manner. So that way the next week when classes start, you're just ready to get started. And so what we wanted to do at the bottom of this slide is provide you with the upcoming orientation schedules. So our next major one will be in summer, and that is going to be on Monday, May 23rd, 2022. This means we expect you to arrive by this date. That is the start date for those of you who are admitted for summer. That is when the government is expecting you to arrive in the country and be on our campus. For our fall orientation, that is going to start on August 15th, 2022. Same thing, that is a date on the I-20 that you are expected to be in the country. So you need to make sure you have all your visa stuff, all your pre-arrival stuff taken care of before either of these dates, depending on the intake that you're coming for, because we want to make sure that you're following all the regulations so you get here and we're ready to just have a great time and get you in those classes.
So far, the only question I see so far is asking if we can waive the application fee, and unfortunately we cannot. I believe the $50 application fee, that's for all types of applications, unless it's an online application. And if you want to study online, you can email us for more information as well. Or more information about the visa process, would you?
So It is going to vary by your country. What we can tell you is just the process and the steps and what you do to go for your visa interview. So again, you would first pay your CVIS fee. You would fill out the required DS-160 form, which is required in order to go for your F1 or J1 visa. And once you've filled all that out, you'll be given an appointment time, and you need to show up at it at your local embassy or consulate. You'll go to the interview, and again, it's going to vary from country to country, but you want to make sure that you are there on time, that you have your documents with you. Remember that the process is not going to take very long, so you want to make sure that you are confident in your answers, that you are very well aware of what it is you're wanting to do, what you're wanting to study, where it is you are going, why you're wanting to go there, because they're going to want to establish just how sincere you are to study at Arkansas State. Because they're not going to want you to just, go in there and not know what you're talking about. That wouldn't be good, and that's probably going to get you a denial. So the better chance you'll have of getting that approval for a visa will depend on how much you know about the program, how much you know about Arkansas State. You can give the reasons for why you're wanting to come here and study and get your degree. And again, we do have visa tips on our website at astate.edu. Again, search bar is one of my friends. Type in visa tips, and it's going to open a PDF page, and we've got a list of them that we were told by a visa officer who has worked in several countries, just judging on past experiences that she's been through. This is more likely to get you a visa if you follow the tips that we have collected from her.
Okay. And I noticed one of the questions was, what's the first step in getting the visa from my home country? So I think that would be, once you have the I-20 email, then it would be paying
all the things. So you're going to pay your CVIS fee, like I mentioned, at fmjp.com. It is $350. That's not coming to the school. That's going to CVIS itself. It's an administrative fee. So that way they know you've done that. So they know that you're going to be using that I-20, and it's a requirement for being issued a visa, because you have to have that receipt with you when you go to the visa. And also, whenever you're setting up your visa appointment, they might give you a list of items you have to have with you anyway. The ones that we have listed here are just the ones that we know are needed. So that way you can have a better, more hopefully get your approval. So you would be filling out a DS-160. There is a fee attached to that. Because I don't work for the consular office, I cannot tell you what that amount is, but it would be on the travel.gov website.
And then I see a question then about scholarships for international students. So we do have that information on our website. We have scholarships for first-year freshmen and for undergraduate transfer. And you can find, those are GPA based, and you can find them on our website, the information about that. If you're asking about a graduate, about like graduate level scholarship, then I believe that is department based. So you'd have to contact your individual department.
And then just to add to that, if you are looking for a graduate assistantship, we highly recommend you to wait to contact anybody until you know you will be coming here to Arkansas State, probably even to pre-arrival or your first arrival time, because the only place to officially apply for these will be on the website under the jobs tab, because our departments will not be accepting just people walking in with their CVs and resumes. You actually have to do the application process on the website. So you would do it that way. If you have arrived here, We will, if we know of any in our office, we will be emailing students, let them know of any opportunities we're aware of. Also, every day when you're an admitted student, you will have an email address set up through the university. To that email, you will get what's called a daily digest. And so if there's any new job opportunities at the undergrad or graduate level, you will have that in the email. They will announce it that way. So that way you can go ahead and put your application in. So there are some opportunities, but it is a good idea to be waiting until you know you're actually coming. So that way, in case you're not able to come, you know, there's other people that are also looking.
If you're really unsure, if you think, you know, if you feel like, well, I've completed my application and I think that, you know, it's complete and it's been a while, you can always email us. There might, you know, it's fine to email and ask for an update on your status, and we'll check for you. But please,
I would also recommend make sure you're contacting admissions.
Yeah.
Because if you email me, I'm not going to know. I have to ask them.
Yeah,
so
she
that's
doesn't
gonna,
know.
I don't know. So that's going to slow it down. So do make sure you're reaching out to International at A-State, and they can provide you with a timely response.
Yeah.
We have several people that are in charge of that email address, and you will have a response within 24 hours.
And then I see a question about deadlines for fall. If you're applying, I'll start with summer. If you're applying for summer and you have not applied yet, then the application is due by April 1st. And then all the documents are due by April 15th.
Oh, my birthday.
Oh, that's her birthday. And if you're applying for fall, for most programs, the application is going to be due by July 1st. I say most because if you're applying for graduate programs, the application due date might be different. And in that case, you should know for you should look at our website, international admissions, underneath our graduate tab. And each program that we offer, it has a deadline next to it. But for most of them, it's going to be July 1st, and that is for the application being submitted and all of the documents is July 1st for the fall. I see a question about graduate certificates. Now, if you're talking about a certificate as opposed to a degree, so like we have graduate certificates and then like master's degrees. Graduate certificates, international students can only do those online, not in person. If you want to come in person, then you have to do a graduate, like a master's degree or a PhD. Okay, I see one more question that we'll talk about. Someone asked, can we change our major? The answer is yes. If you are an undergraduate student, it's fairly easy to change your major. You can just email international@astate.edu. If you've applied for a graduate program, it's a little more complicated because the admissions process is different for every program. So if you have already applied for a master's program and you want to change your major, also email international@astate.edu. But just keep in mind that the process might be different and it might take a little bit longer. And then I'll answer this last question. Is the GRE mandatory for all programs? Only some of our graduate programs only some of our graduate programs require you to take the GRE. The GRE is required, for example, for computer science and for a couple of other science programs. So you should look on our website under international admissions, under the graduate tab, the programs that we offer and whether or not they require the GRE. You can find that there. And if you have any questions about like the required scores, you can always ask us as well. So the GRE, like I said, is only required for some graduate programs. If we mean like the IELTS or the TOEFL,
English proficiency.
Yeah. Then the English proficiency, if you're from, we have like a list of countries. A long list of countries where English is a first language, and you can check our website for that. And it depends on what country you're from, what country did you get your education in, etc. And then you can also find the list of English proficiency that we do accept if you're not from one of those countries.
What majors are good in Arkansas State for biology? Again, this will be one of our, looks like there's one other question, then that will be the absolute final complete question.
The last one.
So basically, if you're talking about on the undergrad level, Marley was going to join in, but I know we have regular biology, and then there's different concentrations depending on what you're wanting to do with that. If you're wanting to have like pre-med, if you're wanting to do different things. We also have biotechnology, which is more on the like technology technology side of
Yeah,
biotech.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, more
We're-
medical in a way.
yeah, we also have clinical laboratory science, which is if you're going to be, wanting to work in medical labs with blood and all that stuff. So I know we have those.
Yeah.
And some of those are STEM majors. And the on-campus accommodation fee. So basically, if you go to our website and you type in university housing, all that information is going to be listed there. They have a whole website about the different amounts, the fee to apply, how much room and board is, how much meal plans are. They have it all on their side of the website. That's outside of our department, so we can't give you those figures, but they're on the website if you visit university housing.
It's so tempting to keep
I
answering
know.
questions,
This really could be environmental biology. We have environmental science,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of
It's the
that,
same.
and we have that like at undergrad and the grad level.
Grad, yeah.
And then finally, do we have to stay in the dorm until we're 21? Again, no. It's for undergrad freshmen, A-state policy, not international department, so we can't enforce that. So if you have questions, you can ask university housing. And that was the final question we can answer. Thank you for those
Leah's
great
cutting them off.
questions.
All right, so thank you, everyone. If you have
Yes.
any questions, you can, let me just go back to
Yeah,
the,
go
the
back to the-
WhatsApp number.
Yeah, WhatsApp and our email is there.
Yeah.
Both are watched by a couple different people, so you will have a response within 24 hours if you your email or you contact us by WhatsApp. It will be answered.
Yes, and so any questions you have, just email or WhatsApp. And so thank you, everybody,
Yes,
and
thank you.
for participating.
Yeah,
Have a wonderful evening or morning wherever you are.
that's right.
Let us know if you have any questions.
Yes, thank you everybody
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Bye.
Hope to see you at A-State.